Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. You guys, today we're gonna go through a review, or I guess my thoughts about this brand new expansion pack that The Sims 4 came out called For Rent. Now, I heard some things from different people saying they love it. Some people say that they're not that big on it. Let's get into it. I'll let you guys know my thoughts, let you know what is in this pack and what we have, and also let you guys know whether or not it's worth the money or not right now, or you should just wait until it goes on sale. So let's take a big dive in. Let's go. Now, for the females, you have about 8 different types of different hairstyles, some that have some color, some that are just kind of plain, some that are updo, some that are braids, some that are longer. You kind of get a good array of hair, and I think that they actually look really cute. I was not disappointed with any of them. I feel like this was a good array of hair that you can kind of create like any sim that has like a certain vibe to them. I think any hair would match those. For the males, you only get 3 different hairstyles, but I actually really like them. I like the way they look. I like the style of them. They have some good like gradients. I approve. Also for the males, they only have 1 type of facial hair. It would have been nice to see a little bit more, but this one's pretty good considering what we have already. For hats, there's only 2, but male and female kind of get the same ones except for that second hat that you see here. Those show up for the males as well. Now for the jewelry, there's about 6 different types of pieces, and I was actually quite impressed with them just because there are some that are small, some that are a little bigger. It shows a lot of the culture. It looks beautiful. The glasses I find are a little silly. I don't think I would wear them, but they are fun to look at, and the necklaces are really cute too. I was actually quite impressed with the array of what they have. Now moving on to the tops, I actually was quite impressed again with the array of things that we had. I seem to say that they focused a lot on Create a Sim as well. I know that they kind of lacked in a lot with some other things, but the Create a Sim, you can't go wrong with. They had so much variety. There was short sleeves, there's long sleeves, there's crop tops, there's sweaters, and the texture of it looks so good. I love the way that there's more traditional and then there's more like everyday kind of thing, and I love it. Now for the bottom section, there is a huge array. Again, not super big. I guess I wouldn't say huge, but there is a lot. Those pants that you just saw before with the pockets and stuff, I'm absolutely in love with. I will make my sim wear this all the time, but there's like, you have some skirts, you have some long pants, you got some shorts. Again, you got a whole array to make some really cool looking outfits in here. Now, full body is kind of where my kind of, guilty pleasure is, just because I like to just kind of go and build. I'm really hard when it comes to Create a Sim. It's a really hard time for me to choose something I like, but the outfits that we have here are so simple, so nice. Like I can just go over, pick one that I like, and it's just like the full body, so it's quick and easy, but the different things that they had were absolutely gorgeous. I loved all the dresses. They were so beautiful. You can use them for so much stuff. It also includes 3 different types of bracelets. I think there's 2 of the same. You can just put them on either hand, but they're beautiful. There's some with beads and then there's some with string, so you can kind of get the best of both worlds if you prefer getting something a little bit more fancy. The shoes also do have kind of an range. There's about 6 of different ones, so you have some different varieties that you can kind of use wherever your sim is. There's literally a shoe for any occasion. Males again have the same hat as the women's and of course the same accessories as the women as well. And surprisingly, the males have a good array of clothes. I was surprised. I was mildly and happily surprised. There was a lot of button-ups, but I do like the way that they look, and I think it looked good on the sim. You have more, again, like array of everyday clothes, and then also more traditional like. I like the one that got tucked in the pants. I thought that was a really good call on them to even have that in there, or even some layered clothing was a great look for any of these catalogs. We also got 11 pants for the males, so to me, that's a win. I like the way that they had everything. Stuff had a lot of more pockets, a lot more detail in them. I love the way that they look. Again, the traditional look looks so cool, you guys. I'm such a sucker for like different cultures. Again, the accessories, same as the women's like before, but we did get 4 different types of shoes for the males. Again, not as many as we do for the female, but there is still a good array. For the little girls, the hair is still the same as the adults. Now, moving on to the young girls, they have 7 different types of shirts. I wish, again, they had more, but it's okay. They were cute. They range from like t-shirts to long sleeves to even having some button-up shirts as well. And, it ranging from everyday to traditional, it kind of balanced itself out, and I thought they were pretty cute. three different types of options when it comes to shoes. So you have some sandals, slippers, and some shark shoes, and I'm obsessed with it. Now, for the young males, we only have 4 different hairs. 3 of them are the same as the adults, and 1 of them is new for the kids. So I wish we had a little bit more for the boys, but they're pretty good. Now, 4 shirts for the boys, and again, they were the same as I believe the girls. I know that they do copy and paste a lot of their stuff for both of the kids, and I get that, but I wish we did have some more ranges. But I found everything else to be quite good. All of these items are good, guys. Even if they do copy and paste, it works for everyone. So even if you're a boy and you want to wear something from the girls, you can. If you're a girl and you want to wear something from the boys, you can. And there's just a whole bunch of things. But I was super surprised about the babies and the toddlers. They got a lot more things than I thought they were. And some of the onesies for the babies were so freaking cute. I love the ones with the lions. They had a good range of just like t-shirts. They had a good range of pants. I would wish that they would have a little bit more in the full body, but again, I'm not trying to expect too much from them, but overall, I actually was quite impressed. Okay, now let's move on to aspirations. There's quite a few, so let's get into them. This pack is a whole lot of sneaking and spying on your neighbors, which is mildly concerning, but you do have this aspiration called Seekers of Secrets. So basically, they just want you to be snooping on your neighbors. So going up to the door, looking through the window, maybe trying to see what they're up to, listening, spying on them. That is a whole thing in itself. So if that tickles a fancy, you should try that one. This next aspiration goes strictly for your rental properties. Now, this is what is gonna be your absolute. You wanna have a 5-star property owner, of a whole rental lot. So you wanna make sure this baby is on the map for people to go to, but just don't spam people on your 5-star. That will bring it down. This next one is kind of iffy for me. The Fountain of Tomaring knowledge the sim wants to immerse themselves in everything Tomaring has to offer is a little iffy for me. It didn't take me long to do it, and considering it's from an expansion pack and usually aspirations drag on a little bit longer, I was quite surprised on how fast I finished it. So do keep that in mind when it comes to that. Discerning Dweller. This sim aspires to be the perfect tenant and neighbor in a residential rental. Now, you just want to live your best life. You just want to go through every day and day out, say hi to Jim, and then go home and then go make some pancakes and watch some TV, and that is your day. So hopefully it stays like that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it is a really good one. Again, very quick to finish, but it's cute. I like it. Now, for the traits, again, we got a good handful of them. Now, the first one is Child of the Village. It's kind of like the one of the Child of the Islands from the Island Living pack that we got. I have found that some people said that it is kind of weird that it says that they miss the village even though they just were there, like immersing themselves with everything, and then they go home and then it says, oh, like they were depressed the entire time, like they were never at their village, even though like you just visited like 5 seconds ago. So I'm not too sure. I didn't find any work glitches with that, but keep in mind that might be a thing. Next on the list, you also have Generous. Now, I'm kind of glad that they added this. It's actually really cute. Your Sims really enjoy just like giving things to people, like money, careful with that, and food, and anything that they can do to help people. It's actually really cute. I'm appreciative that they brought that in. All right, next up we have Cringe, and I guess that kind of speaks for itself. Your sim is a bit cringy, a little strange, a little kooky, but in the best way. They dab a lot. My sim had a hard time reading the room. My sim died, and they were just dabbing over my other sim, and it was really, really awkward. So keep that in mind. Your sims really like to dab a lot. And the next one up is Nosy, and this kind of goes in with the whole thing of how this pack is just you're spying on your neighbors, you're listening in, you're watching them through a window, you're listening up at the door, you're breaking in, you're just watching them through like some goggles. There's a whole thing with it. So if your sim is this nosy, they will be very nosy. And I found that my sim actually got kind of like upset if they didn't spy on someone in a long time. Like it was kind of uncomfortable, or they were sad. They're like, I need to find secrets now, and they just never did. So your Sims, keep that in mind. Your Sims do get a little upset if they haven't gotten a secret in a while. Next, we have socially awkward, and I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't get this in like the high school pack or the university pack, because a lot of people are socially awkward and your Sims do get embarrassed a little bit more than usual. And I just think that it's funny because like then your Sims, you can really start to relate to them if you are a bit socially awkward. I totally am at some points too, so I'm glad that they added this in. Your Sims do get embarrassed quite often though, but it's cute. And lastly, we have a secret trait that is only exclusive to elderly people, and it is called wise. And of course, if you've been through a whole lot of stuff, you're pretty wise, and you have some pretty good stories. So they'll have like good stories to tell on. They'll be able to pass on wisdom. I just think that it's really cool that we actually starting to get something for elders. Like, hey, if I look like this as an elder, I would be so happy. I'd be pretty, and I could get any grandpa I wanted. Now, I'm obsessed with the way that that circle looks for the Tomarang world, but at first when you get in there, you're going to be greeted with this. Now, it's a residential rental onboarding, and it's going to ask if you want to know how to become a property owner or how to become a tenant. So if you want to learn step by step, or you kind of just want to go with the flow and just see and experience things your own way and figure it out that way, you totally can. So as soon as you get in, you're going to be greeted with two different types of neighborhoods. This one is called Morin Song. Now, this is going to be where your night market is, where the botanical gardens are, kind of where you can kind of go around and just go shopping and try foods and play hopscotch or marbles with your friends. That's kind of like where all the communities are going to be and where you can kind of like go around and explore the village. And the second neighborhood is called, I hope it's not pronouncing wrong, is Sapa, I think, but this is kind of where you're more like it's honestly, it's beautiful when you're in game. The way that it looks is absolutely insane, but there are like a tiger sanctuary or like an animal sanctuary. There's some caves that you can go visit and some beautiful little temples. Huge open world when it comes to swimming. Again, I do wish that we did get a little bit more, and especially considering that it's almost the same size as Strangerville, and that's a game pack, and this is an expansion pack. I'm kind of disappointed in the size, especially of the sizes of the lots. Now, the lots are usually just 30 by 20. I know that they're trying to make them smaller for people who want to make more of condos or complexes. And I think the only biggest one that we have is like a 40 by 40 or like a 50 by 40. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not that big. I'm surprised we don't even have a 64 by 64 lot, especially considering actually in Thailand there are some major looking temple places that I even went to and ancient ruins and stuff like that that were absolutely insanely massive. So I'm surprised that we don't even have a 64 by 64 lot. The set dressing also looks a little funny for like the mountains in Halong Bay. It's a little funny, but it's cute. Something that I did mention previously was a tiger sanctuary, and I'm kind of surprised they also don't have like an elephant sanctuary. But you guys, yes, this is a rabbit hole, but you can sneak into the sanctuary, you can support them, you can just visit, you can adopt a tiger, donate $50, maybe donate 10, and you can go in there, and it has its own story, so you do get some rewards after you go in, and then you can kind of go through like a little storyline and learn some facts. So I think it's kind of cute, it's adorable. I wish we were able to do a little bit more with it, but I understand why it is a rabbit hole, because I think making tigers would be a little hard. Another rabbit hole that we have is a temple in the main village. Now that one you can go, your sim can visit it, you leave, you get a nice moonlit, and then you get something at the very top right on your notifications, letting them know kind of like what happened or what kind of wisdom that they gained. It does have a good storyline again, so it is kind of cool to take a look at what it says. And the caves are also another rabbit hole that your Sims can go down and discover some new things. It will take you through prompts, and your Sim can come out and get some moodlets, or maybe they can find something. Now, another thing that I really love in this pack is the night market, but the only thing that I have is that it's actually not as like bustling as they say it is. It's probably about like 6 Sims walking around, and it doesn't feel too big, but you do have some vendors that you can go buy some knickknacks, you can buy some items. I bought a mysterious basket thinking, they were like, what's inside? And then nothing was inside. I got bamboozled, but I found out that some of the meat markets and the meat stalls, they don't have food or people vendoring, so you can't buy meat or veggies, but you can go over to the ones that have Sims and you can buy a bunch of different types of food, and I thought it was really fun. From what I've seen so far, you can only order a handful of drinks, but they have like milk tea and they have have sugarcane juice, which is also an item that you can get in build mode, and you can make it yourself at home. My sim was double fisted, and she loves milk tea just like me, so I had a lot of fun doing it. It was really cute. The colors of the food were absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. I saw some ones that I did recognize, like my stepmom is Filipino, so I did find some foods that actually were quite similar, funny enough, but I actually really liked it, and the food stalls were adorable, even that you could sit on them and like sit next to the vendor and eat your food. I was trying all of them. I had like pad thai galore. I had my sims have like anything that they could get their hands on. It was just so good. I wish again that there were more sims, but the place was absolutely breathtaking, so I can't say much. I had fun, and this is starting to become actually probably one of my favorite worlds, even though it's not big. All right, now what we're here for is the residential rental lots. Now you are gonna find this on your lot type, and when you do this, you're gonna have your building, right? And you're gonna click on a one room, and it's gonna drop down your first thing. Now that is gonna be default. That is gonna be your first person who lives there. And once you do that, you can create like as much as you want. I just grabbed one of my builds that I previously made, and I'll have that link down below too. It was really beautiful. I love the build, but I was going around and it shows you the outline of all the different colors of all the different rental places that you can have. You can have up to, now the max units, guys, for a normal lot is 6 units, but if you use the cheat BB. Increase unit cap on, you can have up to 99 units per save. How insane is this? Now I was actually having a lot of fun doing these rooms, and I thought it would actually be really funny if I used one of my like basketball courts as a room, so you could totally do that. Like you could only let like one person live in like a basketball court because it's considered as a room, right? So I thought it'd be funny, but I didn't go on with it. Another thing that you can't do is either build on vacation worlds, secret lots, penthouses, or beaches for some sort of reason, which is kind of strange. And another qualm that I have is that if you want to visit a unit, you're gonna have to go through a loading screen, and it's kind of like you're visiting a lot in itself, so it's kind of annoying, but I understand why they did it. Now the way for me, you can go to your computer or your phone and go down, and you're going to buy a residential rental lot. Now it's going to take you to the map screen, and you're going to be able to choose what building or what lot you want to use as your rental space. I used one I already had. Now, before I started renting out to Sims, you can see here on the left side, I started to fill out the details of each house or rental space that I had. I think it was really cool that you can have the option to see what you're looking at, or you cannot see, just so you can do it a little bit quicker. But I did it to every single room, so your Sims who own or rent these places are gonna know what they're getting themselves into. It will also let the Sims know whether or not your building is up with maintenance, and they'll let them know whether or not it's dirty or if it's clean or how many stars they have, which impacts a lot. Once you are all ready for someone to move in, you're gonna press the fill vacancy tab on the bottom right, and it's gonna show what their rent pay is per day for the lease length it's gonna be, and then it shows kind of what your place looks like, so the unit ratings, and then you're also gonna have some rules as well. Now if your Sims break those rules, you can evict them, or you can unjustifiably evict them too, and it will show people, and it'll show that they need 1 bed or they need 2 beds, and then it will start going up. Depends on what your house or what your buildings look like. There is a rent limit, so you cannot make your Sims pay a million simoleons for 1 room. I'm sorry, and if you started doing that, they're gonna start going against you, and you're gonna get a backlash. Yes, you can evict your Sims tenants, and you can do it justifiably, or you can do it unjustifiably so, or you can blame the tenants. You can even give them praise for being good, or ask them about rental conditions. Now, of course, I at first praised my tenant, said, wow, you're doing such a good job, and then I immediately evicted her after, and it was really bad. But as soon as you go on that Sims profile, 1, they're gonna hate you, and 2, you're gonna see on the sentiments, it's gonna show that you evicted them. And my Sim got fined for unjustifiably evicting someone, so keep that in mind. Now, next up is snooping, and you can do some pretty questionable things, and you can start spying on your neighbors and learn secrets about them. You can even try and break into their house. If your Sim is a kleptomaniac, they can steal things, but my Sims, usually their secrets aren't too crazy. It's mostly just like lore that's tied to the world, like a tiger person, or they have something with grilled cheese. Like, it's just kind of weird, but I think it's really funny. But when you have binoculars and you're trying to spy on someone 2 feet in front of them, it's doesn't really work. Or when you're trying to follow Vlad, I'm pretty sure he knew I was following him. That man sent me on a goose chase. But yeah, you can break in, and I got one of my tenants to break into one of the neighbors' house. Again, they weren't a kleptomaniac, so it was kind of a anticlimactic kind of situation, but she was happy. Now, speaking of going into your tenants' houses in your neighboring homes without breaking in, you're probably going to get calls about maintenance. Now, there's going to be electrical problems. There's probably going to be some mold problems if you have the lot trait of mold. And what I had to do is I had to go around and try and just fix everything. Their power went out, so it wasn't too hard to do, but it was kind of a goose chase trying to find everything that was broken. But you know what? It was kind of fun. It's cool to do some work on some places that you don't know where the problem is, so it was rewarding when you found it. But there can be plumbing issues, there can be emergencies, but you have to make sure. Even hauntings can be a problem, but you can call your landlord to fix it, or you can just repair it yourself. But if you do that, you're gonna get better ratings on your house, but you have to make sure that you keep it up with the maintenance, or there can be problems. Next up, we have build by, and I want to start with the wallpapers. There was a lot. It was hard to kind of put them down or set them down, especially with the floors, I'm saying, is because there was a lot of tiles, and with a lot of tiles there was a lot of patterns, so I tried to get it as much as I could. But we have a really good array of wallpapers here, you guys. There's a lot of like the wood ones. I know they look the same, but they're a little different. We have some beautiful pastel colors. The wood swatches were really nice. We had a good array of, you know, things that you could use to make your house look absolutely beautiful. I loved the stone in this like pack. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I'll show you guys here in a second, but I'm just going through all the swatches as best as I could. It was a little hard, and I was just like, ugh, whatever. Here, look at the look at this stuff. And you know what? The tiles, they look good, and you can kind of mix and match around with them and kind of do whatever you want if you place them individually. We have a lot of different windows. I was actually very surprised about how much we have. We only have 3 doors though, which I was kind of surprised about. I'm excited to use all of these. I am so excited to actually build something, so stay tuned for what I'm gonna have coming up. But we have a lot of just like roof items. Some of them don't actually match the tiles on the roof itself. It's really strange, but we have like 3 different types of pillars. We have 2 different types of like the things on the roof. I forget what those things are called. We got a bunch of new different swatches for the stairs with 3 different types of railings, which I'm surprised about. We have a 1 little like floaty for your pool, and a bunch of different awnings and stuff that you can use. And those fans that we have are functional, so they do spin, and they have some really good swatches on them. And I'm actually very quite impressed with some of the items. So I was getting so excited while I was putting all these down, because I was like, I know exactly what I want to build. I'm very excited. The colors were so vibrant. Even on the tiles of the roofs were beautiful. There were some that were clean. There were some that were a little bit dirty. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, but I'm so happy that we got some really cool items, and some of them even look like handmade. Like these lights were so cool. They were so sick. I am such a sucker for like traditional, like any sort of like, I don't even know, like tradition, I guess, or cultures I'm a big fan of, and I just loved all of these items. There was actually quite a few lights. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised about how much there is, but I mean, I do have to mention, we only did get 1 bed, and it's a beautiful bed nonetheless, but we only did get 1 bed, you guys. But I'm happy we got a mini fridge. Out of anything, I'm happy we got a mini fridge. We got some beautiful little knickknacks here and there for like some decorations, a bunch of marbles, which we will get into. We also have a water heater and an electrical box that is functional and non-functional, so you can have the best of both worlds. And we have a tuk-tuk, which is really cute. I love driving in those. We have a beautiful arch for some like temple work. We also have a beautiful little table here, which has a bunch of the stuff that I wanted to show you guys of the appliances. Now we will get into those as well, and I was absolutely blown away. I'm so excited to get more stuff, but that dishwasher looked a little weird with some of the more traditional looking cabinets. It looked a little out of place, but it's still really pretty nonetheless. We did get a bunch of different types of curtains too. All of them have the same swatches, so it's not that different, but it's good because you can kind of mix match around the house, and you can make it look any way you want. Some new stools as well, or I guess stool, with just a bunch of stuff with a bunch of swatches, and the leaves, the trees, and all the plants. look beautiful inside the game and out. We also have brand new toilets. Like that bowl there is a toilet, and the 2 different toilets there on the side. It is so interesting to see that we have that in game now, which is actually really cool. And the tub and hot tub in the shower. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy we have a new hot tub. It looks so beautiful. Some new rugs. I wish we had some more plain swatches on there, but I mean, you know what? It's still really pretty. One new mirror as well, and it has a good swatch of variety. And what I mean by variety too, the decals on the walls. You guys, I'm so excited for the decals and the paintings. Oh my gosh, I wish we had more. They would have been so beautiful. I'm actually kind of surprised with some of the things that we do and do not have, especially considering that there is a huge culture around Thai culture in East Asia. I'm surprised that we didn't get more things for the walls, like paintings. But you know what? The swatches on the woods make up for it because it is so beautiful. The way that they have everything, I just don't know how to explain it, but we have a bunch of things for your Sims to pop their little booties on. The Sims will always have somewhere to pop a squat, and we also have some radiators here that do work with the fireplaces. This new coffee table is beautiful. We have some new sculptures of like a little board. We have like a up for sale sign, and of course we have a Nomos mold, and then we have these beautiful little temple things here for your past loved ones or something for tradition. We also have some more chairs here as well, which are so beautiful. The bar is absolutely breathtaking. I loved it so much. I was so surprised with the things that we had in here. Even though we didn't have as much as I thought we were gonna have, we do have some really beautiful items. Even if there isn't a lot, it's more quality over quantity. But I mean, the quantity part, we do have a lot. I mean, did you see all those windows we had? That was absolutely insane. We had so many, but I'm surprised that we don't have more things with elephants now looking at that sculpture. We also do have some more marble things. That's going to be a brand new thing for your Sims to do. Some fruit baskets, a new vase, anything like that. The hopscotch, I'm so excited for. I was getting my Sim to play it too, so I show you guys that later. And some new mailboxes as well from different sizes. And we have a brand new barbecue. So if you guys did that pre-order, you will have it, and it will be good until January. So if you guys want to get that cool looking barbecue, that is something that you could do. And some new little mirrors too with some storage. And those little tigers in debug are so cute. That's the things that you'll be getting when you go to that sanctuary. And here are some of my favorite little debug items. You guys, doing voiceovers are hard. I mean, I sound like an auctioneer. Now, moving on to my favorite thing that we got, which is funny enough, was the hopscotch. Now, the hopscotch, I don't know why, it gives me nostalgia. I used to play it all the time as a kid. I absolutely love it. So watching my Sim be able to do this now, which has taken them way too long with marbles even as well. I'm so happy that they added this into the game. Your Sims can even collect different marbles, or they can play with different people too. And I got my friend to meet a kid up on the playground, and they played for a little bit while my Sim stank. She's stanky. She didn't have a shower. But you gotta get those angles. Look how beautiful this is. Now, the next thing that I was super excited for was the different kitchen appliances. Now, hot cocoa, you can make coffee, tea, or hot water as well if your Sim wants to detox, but you gotta boil that kettle, girl, because you gotta go over it and you gotta see what you can make. I decided to make sure that my Sim made some hot chocolate because it is cold where I am and there's too much snow going around. So if my Sim can have some hot chocolate, even if she's in a hot place, she's gotta do it, you know? So you have hot chocolate, or you can do hot chocolate with marshmallows, and you have to have hot chocolate with marshmallows. It's just a must. So I made sure to do that, and you can see the animations are really, really cute. I'm happy that they added this in, especially because the new, like, the way that it looks is absolutely beautiful. So you got to make sure to turn that guy off. And then the next one that I decided to do was the sugar cane tray, and it just comes automatically. It's just kind of like any sort of bar tray that we get for any type of like pack that we get, but depending on what you drink or what your Sim likes, you will get a moodlet from it, which I think is really freaking cute. Now on to something that I'm also really excited for is the pressure cooker. Now you only have 4 recipes right now, but I'm hoping that they can add a little bit more in there. But you can see your Sim opens up the pot. I decided to do steam raise, and then they just pour it in and wait for it to go. There's also an option that you can release the steam in there so it doesn't go crazy, or else when your Sim opens it, you're gonna burn your face, and we don't want that to happen. And so I just made sure that my sim goes around, but the colors on there are super duper cool, and I hope that they actually add things on in the future. And if you guys like the look of this kitchen, it is also on my gallery, a little shameless plug here. Also with the building that I had for my rental residential lot, that is also on my gallery. For this kitchen, the cabinets weren't functional, so I had to change them out. They were just mostly for aesthetics. But you can see here that my sim did just release some of the pressure, and she could take it out and eat up all the rice, and I'm just so excited. And you can grab like a full size serving, or you can do one size. But my sim is a sim of one with her kid always at school. I never see her, so I just made it for her. And I know that you guys definitely want to see the mold and like the fire cleanups that you can do, and just like the new deaths. And for some reason, I don't know why, my game just didn't want to show the mold at all. I don't know if it was a glitch with me or what the story is, but I will probably throw in a clip of someone else's, and I'll give them credit here on the bottom right, just showing what the black mold looks like, because for some reason my game just didn't want my sims to die. I don't know, but overall, you guys, this game is absolutely breathtaking. It is beautiful. I had so much fun. I do wish that it was a little bit bigger, but the culture you can see is there, and I really appreciate it. If you guys want to know my thoughts on it, I actually really like it. Would I say it's worth the money? I think 100% it's worth the money, especially if you really like the build buy items, or if that's something that you're gonna tickle your fancy. But it is specifically targeted towards a niche, so if you don't feel like you're gonna make some traditional things with building, and you don't really care about the gameplay, then I probably say that it probably isn't for you. But you know, that's just me. But for myself, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I probably still would have bought it, because it is beautiful. I love the way that everything looked. The night market was my absolute favorite. So if you guys are looking for my stamp of approval, I say yeah, go for it. I think that it's beautiful, and let me know what you guys have your thoughts on already. And yeah, if you guys like this video, maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. I usually do a lot of speed builds on my channel, and you can see I can't talk. If I start talking for a long period of time, I start slurring over my words and I can't do it. But funny enough, if you come see us do our speed builds, I do talk about stories that happen to me on my everyday, and girl, there is some weird stuff that happens. And yeah, I hope that you guys like this video. Maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all later. Okay, bye guys. Hello?
Yes.
What do you mean? Yeah. Hello, baby.
Yeah.
Hello, what are you doing? Oh, no. Why am I not surprised?
No idea.
No, baby. Is this place bigger than the one where you are?
No, it's smaller. It's way smaller.
No. Oh, baby.
Oh, no. Oh, that's the cafeteria. I wonder if there's microwaves. I think I'm gonna take my break today.
Oh, what? Wait, isn't there
There's
a microwave like where your office is?
oh, this office is an actual office.